in the small town of Crestview, nestled amidst picturesque hills and lush greenery. A group of high school students embarked on an adventurous hiking trip. The students, led by their charismatic teacher, Mr. Alexander Grant, had planned to capture their memorable excursion with a group photo at the summit of Mount Evergreen. Little did they know that this innocent act would unveil a chilling mystery that would leave them questioning their reality. As the group reached the peak, their excitement soared. They positioned themselves for the perfect shot, smiling wide as the camera captured their youthful enthusiasm against the breathtaking backdrop of the mountain range. But upon reviewing the photo, a sense of unease crept through the group. Something wasn't right. Amidst the cheerful faces, a disturbing figure loomed in the background. Its presence was subtle, almost ethereal, as if it were an apparition watching from afar. The anomaly sent shivers down their spines, leaving the students bewildered and anxious. In a moment of shared uncertainty, they showed the photo to Mr. Grant, their trusted guide and mentor. His normally jovial expression quickly turned grave as he stared at the disturbing image. Without uttering a word, he swiftly deleted the photo from the camera and gathered the students around him. "Something is not right," Mr. Grant whispered, his voice laced with apprehension. "We need to leave immediately. Go back to the bus and wait for me." The students, their curiosity piqued, obeyed their teacher's orders and hurriedly descended the mountain, exchanging fearful glances among themselves. There was an inexplicable tension in the air, a sense of impending doom that hung over the group like a dark cloud. Arriving at the bus, they waited anxiously for Mr. Grant to return. Minutes felt like hours as their minds raced with questions and their imaginations ran wild. What had they stumbled upon? Who or what was in that photo? The suspense gnawed at their nerves, and some began to feel a sickening sense of unease. Finally, Mr. Grant emerged from the shadows, his face pale and his eyes filled with a mix of dread and determination. He addressed the students with a shaky voice. "We have encountered something beyond our comprehension. I cannot explain it, but I assure you, we must never speak of this again." The students, their trust in Mr. Grant unwavering, nodded in agreement. They understood the gravity of the situation and the need to protect themselves from an unknown force. Little did they know that their silence would only fuel the curiosity and desire for answers within their young hearts. Days turned into weeks, and the incident at Mount Evergreen faded from the public's memory. Life returned to its normal rhythm, but a sense of unease lingered within the students. Strange occurrences haunted their dreams, and a few fell ill, their symptoms mirroring their deep-seated fears. Determined to uncover the truth, a group of friends, Sophie, Lucas, and Emma, decided to break their vow of silence. Armed with an insatiable curiosity, they delved into the town's archives, searching for any clues that could shed light on the unsettling photograph. Late nights turned into early mornings as they combed through dusty records and interviewed locals who had experienced similar, unexplained phenomena. Gradually, the pieces of the puzzle began to align, revealing a dark secret that had long been buried beneath the town's tranquil facade. Legend had it that Mount Evergreen was once home to an ancient tribe, their rituals and customs deeply rooted in the surrounding landscape. As the settlers arrived and civilization encroached upon their sacred land, a curse was cast, vowing to protect their secrets at any cost. With their newfound knowledge, the trio unraveled the truth behind the figure in the photo. It was an otherworldly entity, an ethereal guardian assigned to safeguard the tribe's ancestral. The curse upon the mountain had been inadvertently triggered, and the student's photo had captured a glimpse into a realm beyond their comprehension. In the quiet town of Willowbrook, nestled amidst rolling hills and lush greenery, stood St. Mary's Preparatory School. It was an institution known for its strong Catholic values and rigorous academic curriculum. The school, with its red-brick walls and tall steeple, exuded an aura of tradition and excellence. On a warm Friday afternoon, the school bell chimed, signaling the end of another bustling day. Students poured out of the classrooms, their laughter and chatter filling the air. Among them was young Emily Thompson, a bright and vivacious prep student with twinkling blue eyes and a mischievous grin. It was her idea to play hide and seek with her classmates that day, a game that would set in motion a series of eerie events. As the other students counted to 10, Emily hurriedly darted into her classroom. Her eyes fell upon the massive closet tucked away in the corner, and an impish grin spread across her face. She thought it would be the perfect hiding spot after all. It was the one place nobody ever seemed to look. With her heart pounding in excitement, Emily tiptoed into the closet, pulling the door shut behind her. The darkness enveloped her, and she stifled a giggle as she heard the muffled sounds of her playmates searching for her outside. Little did she know that this innocent game of hide-and-seek would soon take a sinister turn. As the weekend passed by, the school remained deserted. Devoid of the joyful laughter that usually echoed through its hallways, Monday arrived, and with it came the school's janitor, Mr. Johnson, a weathered man with a heart of gold. Clutching his mop and bucket, he set out on his daily rounds, determined to ensure the school was in pristine condition. As Mr. Johnson made his way through the empty corridors, a peculiar smell wafted into his nostrils. Wrinkling his nose, he followed the scent, which grew stronger with each step. The odor led him to Emily's classroom, and he cautiously pushed the door open, expecting to find the source of the stench. To his horror, he discovered the massive closet that Emily had hidden in. Unlocking it with a trembling hand, he peered inside, his eyes widening in disbelief. There, lying lifeless on the closet floor, was Emily's frail body. Her once vibrant features had faded, replaced by long gray hair, overgrown nails, and skin that bore the wrinkles of old age. The janitor's heart sank, and a deep sense of unease settled upon him. How could this vibrant young girl have transformed into an old woman overnight? News of the tragic discovery spread like wildfire throughout the town, sending shockwaves through the community. The incident left everyone bewildered, searching for answers that eluded them. In the days that followed, whispers of supernatural happenings circulated among the townsfolk. The nuns who ran St. Mary's Preparatory School were deeply disturbed by the tragic event. Determined to preserve the memory of Emily and protect the students from any potential harm, they made a grave decision. They ordered the classroom to be walled up, sealing it off forever, a solemn reminder of the mysterious fate that befell the young girl. Years passed, and the memory of Emily's tragic demise faded. Tucked away in the recesses of the town's collective consciousness, the walled-up classroom became a silent monument to a dark chapter in Willowbrook's history, its secrets buried deep within its confines. However, whispers of the incident continued to linger, passed down from one generation to the next. Some believed that Emily's spirit haunted the halls of St. Mary's, searching for eternal rest. Others dismissed it as nothing more than local folklore, mere tales spun by the imaginative minds of the townsfolk. To this day, the walled-up classroom stands as a constant reminder of the unsolved mystery. Visitors claim to hear faint whispers and catch fleeting glimpses of a figure in a schoolgirl's uniform, haunting the deserted corridors. Whether it's the restless spirit of Emily Thompson or a mere trick of the imagination, the truth remains elusive, forever entwined with the enigma of that fateful day when a game of hide-and-seek turned into a tragedy that would haunt Willowbrook for generations to come. In the small town of Oakwood, nestled amidst rolling hills and surrounded by lush greenery, a peculiar incident unfolded at the local high school. It was an ordinary day, with the sun casting its warm golden rays through the classroom windows. Mr. Thompson, the history teacher, was engrossed in his lecture, discussing the impact of the 1970s on American society. As the students attentively listened, a sudden commotion disrupted the serene atmosphere. A young man named Ethan, known for his quiet demeanor, broke down sobbing in the middle of the classroom. His uncontrollable tears caught the attention of his classmates and Mr. Thompson, who swiftly paused his lecture, concerned about the distressing scene unfolding before him. "Ethan, what's the matter?" Mr. Thompson asked gently, approaching the disheveled student. He was met with choked sobs and an air of profound sadness that seemed to envelop Ethan's entire being. Struggling to compose himself, Ethan managed to utter, "There's a funeral procession just outside the building." Confusion rippled through the classroom as the students exchanged puzzled glances. The teacher's curiosity was piqued, and he pressed for more information. "A funeral procession? Are you sure, Ethan? How can you tell?" Through tear-filled eyes, Ethan mustered the strength to explain, "It's like nothing I've ever seen before, Mr. Thompson. The cars, the attire of the mourners, it all felt so." From the 70s, a hushed silence descended upon the classroom, and Mr. Thompson exchanged an incredulous glance with his students. The notion seemed impossible. How could a funeral procession from decades ago be passing by their school in the present day? Yet, the anguish etched on Ethan's face and the sincerity in his voice left little room for doubt. Determined to get to the bottom of this mystery, Mr. Thompson excused the class and led them outside to investigate. They emerged into the warm summer air, their eyes scanning the surroundings for any sign of the extraordinary funeral procession. At first, they saw nothing out of the ordinary. The school grounds were empty, and the gentle breeze carried with it the scent of freshly cut grass. Just as doubt began to cloud their minds, a distant sound reached their ears, a hauntingly melancholic dirge. The mournful melody grew louder, drawing the attention of the students and their teacher. In unison, they turned their gaze towards the road adjacent to the school. To their astonishment, a procession of black cars slowly made its way along the winding path. The vintage vehicles bore the unmistakable design of the 1970s, with their sleek lines and gleaming chrome accents. But what truly captivated their attention was the attire of the mourners. The men and women were clad in outfits befitting the bygone era. Whispers of awe and disbelief spread among the students, punctuated by gasps of astonishment. It was an inexplicable sight, a funeral procession frozen in time, passing by their school as if the decades had stood still. Driven by curiosity and an insatiable thirst for answers, Mr. Thompson and his students ventured closer to the procession, their hearts pounding with anticipation. As they drew nearer, they noticed something eerie. The mourners' expressions were frozen in grief, their faces etched with sorrow. Not a single person acknowledged the onlookers or deviated from their mournful path. Attempting to unravel the enigma, Mr. Thompson reached out to touch one of the vehicles, only to retract his hand in shock. The car's surface felt icy cold, sending shivers down his spine. The procession seemed to exist within its own ethereal realm, a specter from the past that had materialized before their very eyes, their senses overwhelmed by the surreal experience. The students watched in awe as the funeral procession gradually vanished into thin air. The haunting dirge faded, leaving behind an eerie silence that echoed through the now empty street. As the last echoes dissipated, Mr. Thompson turned to his students, a mixture of disbelief and wonder in his eyes. They stood there, forever changed by the encounter with the inexplicable, their hearts filled with a newfound appreciation for the mysteries that lie hidden in the fabric of time. From that day forward, Oakwood High School became a place of whispered legends, where the tale of the 1970s funeral procession passed down through generations. Some dismissed it as a figment of collective imagination, while others believed it to be a glimpse into the mysterious workings of the universe. No matter the interpretation, the events of that fateful day remained etched in the memories of those who had borne witness, forever leaving a sense of wonder and curiosity in their hearts, an indelible mark that reminded them that the boundaries of reality are often far more fluid than they appear.